but there's only two bad ones I've seen. But what's interesting is if you look at the numbers on the video, I mean it's number two ranking by views in the first 2 days, 4 hours. It's about 6,000 behind useful ROM hacks for retro games,
Really?
and everything else. I mean, it's going to hit 60,000 tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
I don't
the
know what
60 to 80
I don't know
range is
what their stream is up, by the way.
okay.
I don't
Did
know
you
what.
make a tweet or you want me to
Oh,
make a tweet?
could you make a tweet?
Yeah.
I don't know what their uh, like time frame for when it's supposed to hit that. Like, I hope it wasn't like thrown
It's
off too much because of the delay. Because I know there's something about like
they said a
billing is
month.
like October. It's like on the 25th of the month or something like that.
Yeah. No, they said that they wanted it for the sponsor to be happy. It has to be like within a month.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, when I was trying to stream Until Dawn, like the Mage Well would not see the PS3 no matter what I did. Like the only thing I didn't try was like unplugging the VR box.
Really?
Like I didn't try that, but like even if I set the system for 1080p, like it wouldn't see it. And like just last Monday we streamed Resident Evil 2 on the Xbox One X in 4K. Like I mean not a 4K stream obviously, but it received it was kind of chugging a little bit, but I mean it was good enough for a backloggery stream.
And you have that passing it through that HTCP stripper, right?
Well, no, the PS4 doesn't need to go through the HDCP stripper.
Do you have HTCP turned off on the system?
Yeah, I do. I checked.
Mm.
But I mean, I don't have the PS4 going through the HDCP stripper because I couldn't do 4K if I did that.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't do it. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Until Dawn, I don't think has any pro support, so it doesn't even matter. But, like, so I plugged the AverMedia U3 into a USB 3.0, and it was just like super choppy. Super choppy. I have no idea what the deal was. So I went upstairs and I took the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K out of my computer up there, and then took the Mage Well out of my computer down here and put the Live Gamer 4K in its place. Oh, we already got $20. Wow. Oh, hey. I just realized that our audio is on. Hey, everyone.
Wait, yeah, there. Oh, okay. We had no idea. I'm glad we didn't say anything bad.
No, we didn't say. We never say anything bad. No, you know,
behind the curtain, maybe.
Yeah, I'll go. This. We just kind of talk about random stuff before we actually come on. Here we are. I'll just go ahead and turn us on. You know, I think the audio was off, but then I changed some of the audio settings, so that must have turned it back on.
I see.
But yeah, so I was talking about how we were doing a bonus backloggery stream today, and I was streaming Until Dawn. And I took the Live Gamer 4K out of the computer upstairs and put it back in the computer down here. And then I was able to capture the PS4. So I have no idea what was up with that.
I don't know. I see someone saying the return. Sean Quinn is saying the hat is back, and this is only because my hair buzzer died. Like when I was cutting my hair today. So
I mean, I kind of want to see what it looks like. Is it like half done?
It's just kind of no. It's not like half done. It was like a little bit into it, but I mean, it's not. There's nothing crazy about it. It's just kind of long.
Yeah.
You can really see my bald line there. But so it's just temporary. I got a new buzzer earlier today, so I can fix that up tomorrow.
So yeah, I guess it was actually our audio was on. Well, I was like, oh wow, a $20 donation. So we'll officially call that out now. That was from Sean Quinn wanting to talk about the Analog Pocket, which yeah, I mean, I honestly was not expecting any analog announcements until like in October. I know people were expecting, but I was not expecting it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because you reached out and asked if you should.
Yeah, they're very good at keeping quiet. I tried to dig for info.
Yeah.
But I was thinking there wasn't. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool how it's 10x in both directions. The Game Boy's resolution.
Right.
Which unfortunately that's going to mean that like GBA games are letterboxed. At first I did my math wrong and I thought it was going to be an integer scale. At first I thought it was going to be GBA aspect ratio. Mm-hmm. The whole screen, and GBA would fill it. And then original Game Boy would fill it vertically. And then, but have black bars. But no, it's going to be Game Boy aspect ratio. I was seeing someone speculate, or apparently there's speculation that it might be the same screen that's in
like a
VR Steam. Is it the Steam VR unit or something? I don't. It's some VR, maybe Valve. I think Valve has a VR unit, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know what it like.
I think it's apparently the same resolution as like a lens in that. So that'd be interesting. I mean, there was some discussion in our Patreon Discord about like the pixels per inch, you know, is like so far beyond like retina resolution and whatever, like it almost doesn't even matter what like the integer scaling and the interpolation situation is on it, because the pixel density is just that high, it like almost doesn't even matter.
Right. Well, I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited to play some Lynx games on it.
Yeah, well, I mean that's like my big thing right now is like I feel like they need to come out with those other promised Mega SG cartridge adapters, especially
I have no idea what's going on with that.
Especially the Game Gear one, like because people want that, right? I mean, obviously there will be Game Gear support on this, but like Game Gear support was promised on the Mega SG, so I feel like they need to make good on that promise, like before the Pocket comes out. In my opinion, yes. I would like to see that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that they're not out yet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
like a relatively easy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably worried about demand, especially for like SG-1000 or something. But like, I think the demand is going to be there for Game Gear, absolutely.
Yeah,
but like they made the promise, so I mean, I feel like they gotta follow through with it, especially if I'm to like believe that I can like buy Lynx games to play on this thing, even though I don't have Lynx, right? You know, so they need to follow through with that.
I think the thing I'm most excited about is I love the dock approach to it, because that just gives it such a, you know, yes, it is
separate,
you know, like a rip off of the idea of the Switch, but it's the best way to do something like that, and it makes it so it's bold. It's like it's the way to do it. I think
it is separate though, and it's coming out later, approach. So like I feel like we're almost going to have to do 2 videos on the thing.
Well, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the.
I mean, maybe the dock will end up being a mini, and the main thing will be a regular episode, or maybe they'll both be regular episodes. It's hard to say. But that at least that limits our scope somewhat. We'll probably find a way to make it like a stupidly long video anyway, though.
Yeah.
I saw we got
yes, we had a $2 donation. You're right,
and a new member as well
from Bunga.
Yeah.
And Aaron Welsh for the $2 donation. Thank you. Saying Portland missed us this year. Come next year. Yeah. I mean, we've kind of committed to saying, oh, we'll go to 2 conventions a year. So maybe we need to put that on the calendar.
Yeah.
Commit to going. in
Yeah,
1 year.
I heard there's a convention in Greenville, South Carolina, that I
Oh yeah,
did
I mean that's
not
different.
know about, and I'd like to go. I'd like to check that out, but unfortunately, we just missed it because it was in August.
Yeah, we got a $2 Canadian from Bunga after becoming a member. It says, "What is your favorite third-party controller?" Was are you the one that posted earlier saying this is my favorite video that you guys have made?
Oh,
Or
maybe.
maybe as a someone commented on the video saying, no,
I
it was
mean,
somebody else."
this is definitely the one I've been using the most lately. I'd have to think about whether it's my favorite
Yeah, I think it'd be
necessarily,
up there. Well,
but
either that or the M30.
the M30 is really good. I I haven't used it a lot, like on the Switch though, because just like because of button mapping concerns. But like this, like I've been playing Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. I've been playing Dragon Quest 11, and obviously I'm going to be playing Kunio-kun with it tonight. So, oh, we got a $3 from item 11 saying keep up the awesome content. Thank you. That one didn't come up on the
Yeah, I
the
see
chat.
it. I see it there.
But yeah, I'm going to switch over to the game now.
Yeah.
But this, by the way, this is I bought the Japanese physical copy of this, and when you put it in the Switch, as you can see here, it brings it up as the English title, Kunio-kun: The World Classics Collection.
So maybe this, but you said the games themselves are not in English.
I doubt it. I only tested River City Ransom so far,
and
but because I mean most of these games only came out in Japan.
The English translation on that one it's part of the appeal for sure. On River City Ransom.
Oh sure.
Does they have the Game Boy Advance version of River City Ransom on here?
There we go. I think it's all Famicom and NES stuff on here.
Okay.
There's Game Boy Advance version. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this is all Famicom and NES. But this is I was telling Corey like this.
Oh, it has online for the games too.
I guess so. Like this is incredibly well done. This is one of the best collections I've ever seen from like a features standpoint. Like. And you can change a lot of these settings when you're actually in the game too. But like so I guess this is like for online play, the avatar, but then they're like edit background. You can change each game individually. So like, you know, I can go to River City Ransom and default is like, you know, one of these backgrounds, but then there's also gradation and just black, and it like even like brings up the game's title screen like when you're like checking this stuff out, and you can just select all black from here and set all games for black, but you can set them individually if you want, like, you know, for whatever reason you liked a different border for a different game.
Right. Yeah.
So that's really cool. And like you and like various menus in the game, you can change the sorting. So I've been done by release date. Display settings, like the interpolation is quite good for both vertical and horizontal. So I set it to 4:3 zoom mode, so it just like makes the game a bit bigger and has the correct aspect ratio. But like it's also it's also got like I couldn't it just in a casual test I didn't really see the difference between sharp and smooth scan lines, but like, you know, you can turn those up. And then you can it'll boot a random game to like, obviously it's going to look terrible on the stream, but it's like, the scan lines are scaled correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But like the 4x scale, I guess it probably is. Like if I wanted to look at the 4:3 zoom, like on my TV here, they look messed up as well because that's just how scan lines do if you don't use an integer scale.
We
But
got a lot of people, and Bunga even donated $2 Canadian. Thank you for us both to say barf.
barf, barf.
I like barf, barf.
Not here, Mister. This is a Mercedes.
That's 2 weeks we've managed to make that joke in a row. Yeah, we got $2 from For Love of the Game saying, "What are your hopes for Klonoa Encore?"
Oh, I haven't heard of this. Is this when's this
Have they announced what it is yet? Because I'll tell you one thing, I am up for more Klonoa, even if it's a yet another remake of the first game. I'm totally okay with that. I would be completely okay with the Wii version in HD remaster of that. Just as long as I keep the Phantomalian voiceover as an option.
Was that an option in the Wii game?
Yes, but they had just a regular traditional English dub on there, but there's also the made up language was an option, and that's for me that is a key part of the Klonoa experience is having the made up language. So hopefully that is in there.
Yeah, the controller mapping's also pretty good. I didn't like the default too much because it made NES start was X and then select was Y, and then like if you hit start, it brought up like the collection menu. Mm-hmm. But you can change that. So I made it so that the collection menu is like on X. And it also even has one for button 1 and 2 together. So like in
cool.
River City Ransom, that's jump.
Yes.
So I
awesome.
For now I made it Y because I'm not sure what that'll do in other games. Y might feel kind of weird in River City Ransom, so I might change that to be like I might swap B and Y or something. But you can access that mapping menu in the game. So and there's even like some crazy sound settings. Like you can you need to like boot up a game to actually like and then bring this menu up again to really hear the differences. But there's like all these like reverb and like a fake stereo effect. There's also like just like some equalization, so you can do like treble boost, bass boost, mid-range stuff. Like it's pretty bonkers to me actually. Like all there is going on in here. Like I don't know if I've seen a collection really like present this stuff so well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is. I mean, not to say that M2's collections haven't. I mean, are bad now, but I mean, this is like this feels like something they would have done like in the PS. Like this feels like a Sega Ages 2500.
Yes. Like the amount of stuff, and not only that. I mean, I haven't even gotten to the game list. Like, I mean, the game list is, you can see a game description, and like it's got like screenshots and like the actual box as well as the cartridge art. It's got the story, but then you've also got, you'll see on like Double Dragon it says quality up, and I can bring up the thing, and it's got the US box and cartridge art, and then I can go over and it says what the quality up actually does. So it reduces lag and flickering and has bug fixes. And I can just hit the select button, and you can see that changes from quality up to original, so you can play the patched or unpatched ROM.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, and then like there's more features added to like Super Dodgeball. So like I guess you can play more teams. I'm not as familiar with this game, but like it allows 3 to 4 players. There was
whose audio is messing up? Is mine too loud? Let me know. Is someone say Ricky
audio is
saying
messing up, clipping up? I mean, it sounds like that happens sometimes.
Let me turn mine way down and see if that helps at all.
I
Am I
mean,
too loud?
I,
Because sometimes I'm too loud.
I, I don't know. I mean, you normally, I didn't think you were. People are saying it sounds. Other people are saying it sounds fine.
All
Here,
right.
talk for a minute.
Oh, we
Oh,
got
get
a
ready to
hand.
pause that.
Yeah, I did. Um, we got a $5 donation from Inmate 302. Says, "Hey, does this collection have the original arcade game Nekketsu Koho Kunio-Kun? Not Renegade. LOL. I remember it being pretty tough, especially in the fourth stage with the knife dudes."
I believe
By
this
the
is
way,
the
have an awesome
game
stream. Thank you.
that that became Renegade, which I've never even played Renegade. So that I mean, most of this is outside River City Ransom. I have not played a lot of Kunio stuff, even though like I like the idea of the Kunio games. But I think everything on here, I'm pretty sure is Famicom and NES. I like on this one though, like on the cartridge, you can actually see there's like kind of some like a brown spot in like along the upper, like it's probably like one of the developers like personal copies, you know?
Yeah, heck, why not?
You know, I think it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it feels like it's been loved.
Yeah, I mean,
loved.
it really feels like there's like a lot of attention and love that went into this. Like I'm really impressed. And there's like 4 save slots. Per game. I'm assuming that's per game. I don't know. I haven't played it.
Oh, that menu, the way it's set up, definitely looks like an NES Classic inspired, though.
Oh yeah, it's got like the red and gold and stuff. Yeah, I mean,
no. I'm talking about how each of the games are at the bottom and you're scrolling through them.
Oh
like
yeah,
saves.
okay.
Like just like the layout is very NES Classic inspired.
Yeah, but this. I mean, I'm just like really impressed by the presentation here. So one thing that's interesting to me is I mean, I'm not like a big Double Dragon guy, so I don't know a ton, but like why there are Japanese versions of Double Dragon 1, 2, and 3, aren't there? Like why are they not here? Because like
no, because they're in Japan, they're Double Dragon also.
What do you mean?
Oh, why do they not have the Japanese version?
Yeah, I mean, surely there's at least a slight
probably not.
I don't know, but like here's Downtown Nekketsu Monogatari, that's River City Ransom, and here's you know there's Super Dodgeball, Famicom version of Super Dodgeball. So I don't really know why those aren't here.
If you play, I think Double Dragon 3 is the only one that has actual text in it.
Really?
So I wonder if it's.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going. I've got these sorted by release date, so I'm just gonna start.
Just gonna mess around with them.
Here, yeah, because I don't know a lot about any of these outside of River City Ransom. So.
It says Nelson Painkiller saying change version with the minus button. That just changes the quality up.
That changes quality up.
I see. I mean, I don't know if I would say that Double Dragon is officially in the Kunio-Kun. Probably they were just added to this because they're.
I mean, I think they like, kind of follow parallel paths in a way.
Yeah. John Early wants us to talk more about the analog pockets. I like the form factor, and I can understand what they're going with it. I do almost wish that it was I mean, it probably would go against like what they were aiming for with the style of it. But I mean, I wish it was more of a first Game Boy Advance style, like a horizontal style versus a vertical style. But I mean, that's just me. You played the Game Boy a lot more as a kid than I did.
Wait, Game Boy what? Oh,
I wish that the form factor was more of a Advance.
I'm not surprised they went for that form factor. I mean, especially like I think like these days, like with vertical phones, like people are kind of used to that.
Yeah. And they want to, they want to call it the analog pocket, so it looks like a Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm hoping we have a chance to check it out, like we have the Mega SG and the Super NT. Is there only two colors? Is only white and black, or are there other options?
That's the only ones they've shown so far. Which
I feel like there's got to be a gray one. I feel like there's got to be like.
I mean, I think the white is supposed to be like the original Game Boy. I mean, because it's more white than gray, really.
Yeah.
So what's interesting here is that no matter which way you're facing, like A is a attack to the right and B is an attack to the left.
Oh, that's how Double Dragon 2 is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got a $1 from Bag of Schmidt saying, is there any reason the Pocket would not output that 10x scale with dock?
I mean, I seriously doubt that it's going to be 4K, so I imagine it's probably going to be 1080p on the dock.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if it was 4K, I mean, but maybe that's the reason why they're holding back the dock for a while, and nobody knows the price. I mean, what if the dock was $200, but it was 4K?
I mean, okay.
I wonder what the reaction would be for that.
Yeah.
It's probably not possible, but
I'm pretty bad at this.
Drumata is saying, any thoughts on how they specifically said they have ways to mitigate shimmer on non-integer scaling for stuff like Game Boy Advance? Is that what you meant by letterboxing it?
I mean, GBA is unfortunately definitely going to have to be letterbox. I mean, I'm sure there'll be options to like make it fill the screen, but then the aspect ratio would be terrible.
Oh, okay. Nelson Painkiller, me and M832 are one and the same. Do check out this game in MAME some other time. It's definitely better.
Oh, the arcade game. Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're getting their start with this here.
Yeah.
So Renegade, I guess Renegade is that game. Like, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's the same music. Yeah, this is looking.
Yeah, Aaron Welsh is right saying, I think it would take more than $200 for a FPGA powerful enough for 4K scaling. Yeah, I mean, it's not something that's going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah.
HBR Shredder is saying, this is probably something you might know more about than I do. He says, I cannot for the life of me get to the bonus stage in Excite Bike.
Oh, I think you would know more about that than me. Wait, you mean no, like 64 or?
No, I think it's in the original. No, the only thing I know about 64 even is jumping Jim Rivers. Get the soil sample.
But I don't.
That is like literally my favorite part. Is like the uphill. Where you're gonna you're just working your way up the hill climb, and then going off the side. We used to think it was the funniest thing when I worked at Electronics Boutique. We had a demo unit that had that game in there, and we would just drive them off over and over again, and it goes, Jim Rivers gets a soil sample, and it's like there's various recordings of him saying Jim Rivers, and then it's like a bunch of sayings that he would have. But our favorite was always Jim Rivers gets a soil sample.
Yeah, well, Oh man, I mean, it's been a long time since I put any like serious time into the original like side bikes. So I gotta be honest, I don't remember anything about bonus round.
We got a $4.99 donation from Sean Quinn.
Wow.
Thank you. Saying, have either of you guys picked up Ring Fit Adventures? My son and I picked it up this weekend, and it gives a surprisingly good workout. I didn't even realize it was out.
I mean, it's kind of expensive, isn't it? It's like $70 or $80.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I just remember I just saw some clips from that trailer. And
Yeah,
that's
I
all
mean,
I've seen. I have no idea
it
what the
looks
game even
kind of
looks like.
fun. Like, I definitely like the idea of it being like an actual RPG.
Yeah. Well, it could be fun. It could be fun. I mean, I've honestly never even seen the actual game in action. I've just seen the people playing it and doing whatever they're doing, like on their living room floor.
Oh, so you can fall off there. So this is clearly a bit different because that was like a whole in Renegade in the Kunio version there was nothing to fall off of there.
Yeah. I saw was it John Early was talking about the Joker movie earlier, which I've not seen. I'll probably just find another one. I'll wait for a video. I did, however, on it must have been Tuesday. I went to see the limited engagement version or release of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Like, I don't know if you're like a fan of those movies at all.
I've never really seen.
They don't seem like something you'd like.
I mean, I've seen clips, but I've never
Yeah.
sat down and watched.
So I really, really love Kevin Smith's first 4 movies. I love Clerks, I love Mallrats, I love Chasing Amy, and I love Dogma. Like I like Dogma and Clerks are my 2 favorites. I mean, I like Dogma so much when it came. I saw it in the theater 3 days in a row. But I haven't really dug any of the movies that he's done since then. But I felt like this was something I needed to see, just to see it. If it was not as blatantly like over the top gross as possible. Like, I felt like up through Dogma, like it felt more natural, but they were wanted to just like it be as gross as they possibly can in the following movies. But I was curious to see how this would come out.
Oh, there was a Patreon.
That's from Jonathan B.
Thank you,
and welcome. Yeah, Frank Stresser. I didn't really like Clerks 2 either. I mean, it had its moments, but it was still like certain things that was just, it didn't really do anything. Oh, we got a $10 donation from Fox Mulder 31014. Thank you.
Wow.
With no message.
Well, thank you very much anyhow.
Yeah, Frank, it didn't have the same feel. I mean, I really liked the ending. I loved like the last shot in that movie. But yeah, I just after Dogma, it felt like they just wanted to be as gross as possible with stuff, whether or not it worked in its favor. And it seemed like everything revolved around being as gross as possible. And it didn't have that genuine feel that the movies up to that point had.
I gotta say, after playing those first 2 games, like playing these in like chronological progression gives me like
an appreciation
for Double Dragon. After starting with that one, I've never been I don't know. I feel like I got maybe to the 3rd level a couple of times in this before, but
it's a unique version of the game for sure. It's different than like any other version because it has almost like a level up system to it.
I mean, the thing is, like, I never felt there was
you gotta go down
much.
you gotta knock them down, and you can if you get them on the conveyor belt, you can. Oh, almost. If you don't have easy close.
Oh, there he goes.
There goes. I love these. Like, ooh.
I guess the thing with Double Dragon for me has always been, like, there's just like not enough to like the mechanics to make me feel like, oh, I understand how I could like do this situation better, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
You should spend more time with that. I feel like it's something you would appreciate a bit more now. We got a $2 donation from Jonathan Hinson, who says, "No questions tonight, just enjoying the stream."
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I played Double Dragon was like before I got into like Streets of Rage or Final Fight or anything like that. So, I mean, those games are unquestionably better, but
Yeah, but they all exist because of the groundwork that Double Dragon laid.
right.
I see Uber Disco in the chat. He works at Arcade Legacy here. I traded in a bunch of my Blu-ray movies up there last week because I've been slowly doing the disc to digital with Voodoo.
How does like, can you do that without a code?
Yeah. It's not all movies, but it's a good amount of them. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird how it works. It uses. At first, it makes on a phone. It has to get your location.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's probably to check that you're not like at a store.
Uh-huh.
And you just like take a photograph of the UPC on the back of the box of the case, and then it matches it if that movie is available. And then if it's a DVD, you can transfer it. You can just get a digital version in standard definition for $2 or HD for $5. And if you have a Blu-ray, then you can get an HD version of it for $2. So I've been kind of going through all my Blu-rays and just transferring them over because, I mean, I'm very different, I guess, when it comes to
Physical
wanting to
media
own
for
movies, especially since the fact that I have all these movies on DVD and some on Blu-ray that I have only watched once, and now 4K versions are coming out. I'm not going to buy these movies again.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just have them on a digital service, and it's way more convenient for members of my family to watch them as well.
Yeah. Well, I like that idea of the upgrade system. I wonder if there's anything I could contribute to help contribute to the Voodoo too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should. I mean, I can
actually
give you
this past week, Drum from the Backloggery and I have been doing movie nights on Thursdays.
right.
We try to like cram in like at least a double feature if we have time, and we always watch nothing but horror movies in October, and we wanted to watch the Pet Sematary remake and the Child's Play reboot.
Did that guy just come flying through from the air?
He jumped out of a tree.
Oh, okay.
But like those were like $6 rentals, like for streaming. So like I actually looked up, tried to see if I could find them at Red Boxes. And I was able to get the Pet Cemetery remake as a Blu-ray for $2, and then Child's Play is a DVD for $1.75. So I spent $4 on for movies that would have I would have a little bit out of my way to like, because I couldn't even get them at the same Red Box, but So it was a little out of my way, but I think it was definitely worth it compared to like spending $12 only for rentals. Like I was kind of thinking like, you know, it would be one thing if like that like rental price went toward like, you know, like you would have the option then to like buy it for a discounted price. I don't think any of those services do that, do they?
I don't know.
I mean, that would be more enticing. Like, because like the Child's Play reboot was like way better than I expected. Like it was like legitimately very good. Like for a movie that like completely throws out Chucky's origin story, and like it's about like smart home technology and stuff like that, and like apps and
Right.
stuff. Like making a horror movie out of that sounds super lame, but it weirdly worked very well. And it was like legitimately kind of hilarious too. It was very well done. We were surprised and impressed. The Pet Cemetery remake was just okay. The guy who was John Connor in Terminator Genesis was the main character in it, which kind of took me out of it because that was a terrible movie. What's interesting about Child's Play though is like you know there's this reboot story, but there's like also like the original storyline has been going on with like a couple of direct to video or direct to streaming
yeah.
movies in the past few years, and they're like really good.
Yeah,
I think they might be continuing with like a series or something, like a TV or streaming series. Have you seen the two recent ones?
No, I can't even. I don't think I've ever seen anything other than the first one.
They're the two recent ones are like really good. It's kind of shocking. Like I like the original one was fine. You know, the others were, they follow the path of almost any horror series where, you know, they become of very questionable quality, right? But the reason, like it's I don't know, it's one of the best ones in terms of like the current stuff, I feel.
Yeah. I saw someone who was saying, I have room for movies or games on my shelves, and I have room for both. And that's kind of the way I felt.
Yeah,
You know,
I can very much
and
relate
I
with
can
that.
understand the people saying, oh, I set up a Plex server, but it's more convenient for me just to transfer them over, have them on the service. And I understand that if the service goes down, and that's why it was the existence of Movies Anywhere that made it so that I was okay doing this, especially since you can combine all these services and get all the movies that you have on all the services. But yeah, we got a $10 donation
Wow.
from Craig Wan.
Thank you.
For any time I make a save state, I always feel Try is nodding his head in disapproval from a distance. All jokes aside, do you have any suggestions on good HDMI splitters for all my consoles?
Not all your consoles, if that involves anything 4K. I'm not really sure what would be.
Yeah, I was just looking at 4K splitters recently, and it seems that it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Blackbird one that does it, but I was using that when I first got my TV, and you know it was hit or miss. You know, I would every once in a while lose the signal on the PS4 Pro. I also don't like it because the micro USB power like does not go very deep into it at all. Like it's just barely hanging on in there. I'm kind of suspicious of it for a lot of reasons. As far as like, you know, non 4K stuff, you know, I think just generic HDMI splitters seem to work pretty well. You know, some strip HDCP, which is awesome.
But that's not something you're going to find, I think, very easily now.
No,
we just got lucky and we found this random eBay listing
like years and years ago. Like there's no
like
way
7 years ago, probably at this point. I mean, it was before the channel started, obviously.
Yeah, there's no way to like direct you to that at this point anyway, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to skip Super Dodgeball because, well, you know, I'll boot up. I mean, because I was going to say I'll just try the US version. Why not boot it up and see what the differences are?
But a big part of me, like I see a Bagishman is saying Epos Vox would be disappointed. Probably, I assume he's referring to my non-desire to build a Plex server, and it's just because I don't really have the time nor the inclination to micromanage another aspect of my entertainment. And that's, you know, there's a lot of people saying in the new video saying, "Oh, is it talking about
the Quake
thing?"
Yeah.
Like what I think what I meant more was like I just don't want to bother setting everything up so it's like comfortable to play that.
Right, so that PC games are comfortable to play. Like I understand that most people
like I mean
like
with a controller is fine on a PC, but I don't know if I'm gonna set up to play Quake 2 on a PC with a controller, I might as well just play that other one. You know, it's just I can understand, and there was a time like when I was in college, I was all mouse and keyboard. It's just that I still have a lot of interest in micromanaging another aspect of my day-to-day entertainment.
Right. It's just like I play games in a certain environment that happens to be with a controller, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so I get you. The dithering on the ground is a pretty good show of the interpolation done right. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell on the stream, but I don't really know how to play this game very well. I've played it a little bit before, but not much. Like I feel like I'd have to play this with like someone who knew it really well to like teach me to play it. But this is a pretty well loved game, I think.
But I don't know. I mean, that's just I understand there's probably plenty of ways to work around what I've been saying about Quake, and that's fine. I just don't have
you just don't have the interest to make like PC gaming a central part of your life, you know?
Yeah, it's basically I mean, I'll play certain things that are on there.
I've gone through my phases with PC gaming. I just don't have interest right now. I mean, I think PC gaming is great. I don't have nothing against it. It's just not my. I just don't feel like putting time into it right now.
Yeah, I mean, when I see Bagshman is saying a 486 build seems really fun. I mean, that's something I would definitely consider doing, and that's something I've thought about is building like a retro PC. But now it's just going to get tougher and tougher to do it because it's pretty popular thing to do.
Yeah.
So
I would consider doing something like that, but like I would almost treat it more as a console in a way. You know, I would like connect it to a capture device and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, NeoZ1964 saying storing a big collection of HDR, Ultra HD files will get huge quickly. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. I just think it's easier. And not only that, but now that my kids are older, it's just easier to, if they want to watch something, they want to watch it on any device, on any of the TVs in the house, then it's like, okay, you can just do it. I don't have to like spend a lot of time.
I don't get me wrong. I love movies, but like I'm just like not personally as concerned or invested with the idea of like losing access to a movie or something as I am with
Because it's already gone through so many formats and everything at this point.
Right, and it's so portable to other formats as well, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the only movies I'm trading in are the movies that I can do the disc to digital. I mean, there's plenty that I've kept. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of my Criterion Collection original 1954 Godzilla. Because A, that's not available anywhere else, and it has both versions, the American and the Japanese version. And you know, I thought about doing that one time when I saw it was available for cheap was Battle Royale, but it then ended up being the dubbed only version. And that's not what I wanted. Oh, we got a $2 donation from Reese Bow, who says, "Just installed my first Xeno GC. Thanks for the company." That's the mod chip to play Burns, right? Congratulations.
For what, GameCube?
Like the Xeno goes like right on the bottom of the.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like the old thing. I mean, people were talking about that thing even back in the GameCube's day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which I don't know a ton about.
I look like I'm almost wearing a wug. Is that actually a wug? Is that what it's called? Or a wig? It's just a misspelling of wig. Yeah, nostalgic physical properties are different. You know, it's just I have the attachment to movies in some cases, but I mean, just in general, I don't.
It's just like, I mean, for games though, it's like, you know, it's like something you're going to like want to go back and like have access to, be able to reference again in the future.
It would make sense for us.
And it's also like, you know, specific to platforms a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like with movies, like a movie can be on any platform, technically. You know?
And I mean, it might look different. I mean, there was before this happened, I'd kept my original DVD version of The Matrix because they changed the color correction in it. And between the original theatrical release and when the sequels came out, they gave it more of a green tint in terms of like Blu-ray and stuff like that. And I kept it for that because it's a different version of the movie. But then I was like, I mean, it's not as important to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like, I mean, with games, like, especially because of what we do, like, we're like going back and like referencing these games and stuff, you know, like all these different versions. Like, it's just interesting to us. Like movies, like it's not as important to me.
I see that Golden Jupiter Studio is saying, does PS2 and GameCube games import on US PS2 or GameCube need its own memory cards, or does it save in the US memory cards? So it's, as far as I know, PS2, like there's no region protection on them, but GameCube, I guess if you use it on an American system, you can, like, I think that happened to John Lennon. Like, he lost all of his GameCube saves because he used his American memory card on a Japanese system.
And it formatted it.
And it formats he lost all these old saves. I mean, I remember when it happened, he was like, I just lost all of my old GameCube saves. Which reminds me, I think that's in itself, it's an important thing to make note of when I do the memory cards episode, which is like half scripted.
Yeah.
I mean, like we both were working on it at that point where
I was like feeling a little overwhelmed by it though, because there were parts that you wanted in my section that I didn't know a whole lot about.
Right. Well,
so
I think it's
needed your help to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get to that.
Yeah, probably not something for the probably not until early next. That'd be a good video for like early next year, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens. I mean, let's see. I mean, I really, I'm gonna start scripting and doing like a lot of my, get my outline together for the arcade gaming at home. I think that's definitely my next major video is the super gun. I mean, I've said as much, I think, in the comments or on Twitter. I think I said.
Oh, you're planning for that to be your next scripted video?
Yeah, that's like my next major video. Like if it happens like as my next video remains unseen, remains to be seen. But I'm going to be actively working on it to see how it starts to shake out in terms of length and like level of research. Because I really want to do it, and I think it'd be a fun one. It's been something that we've been working towards for a long time, but I'm seeing it more as a primer for people who are looking to get into it. I mean, it's not going to be a review of like multiple super guns. Basically, like as it stands right now, the Haas is like the best option for most people. I'm not sure if it started shipping. I think someone said earlier, asked if we knew when it was going to start to ship. I'm surprised it hasn't started shipping yet. But that's something I want to do. Like I've wanted to do just kind of an overview, like about different refresh rates and like a lot of things you got to consider when getting into that, because that's something that I've spent a long time. Like I've had plenty of hurdles to figure out, and not only that, but there's a lot of super guns out there, and there's not a lot of good ones out there. Like most of them are bad. And you know, we've worked with ones, we tested some like years ago that weren't that great. And that's kind of why we held off on it for so long, because we wanted to wait for a better option to be available to do the video. So I mean, we're gonna see how it comes out. Like I want it to be more of a thing just for you know, more considerations. Here's the things that you should know when getting into this kind of stuff. And you know, it's basically gonna say if you value your equipment, like I recommend getting the Haas. I understand that the Sentinel is a new one is pretty good, but I've not tested it out. But in terms of individual breakdown of arcade super guns, I think that Bob from Retro RGB is pretty committed to doing that. And he's a content monster. I don't know if you've realized like how.
Oh yeah,
it's very impressive the amount of videos that he releases. I'm constantly impressed with the videos, and it's just like 3 videos a week or something like that.
Yeah, he's just been doing whatever kind of comes to mind.
Yeah. And some things are in depth, some things are not, and it's like it. But then he always does that, and he always does the weekly roundup.
How is Double Dragon 2 generally?
Oh, Double Dragon 2 is generally considered on the NS is definitely considered the best.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
I mean, it restored the 2-player aspect. I don't know how it compares to the arcade version. I've not played.
Double Dragon 1 does not have 2 players on NES?
No, it's alternating only. That was a big deal.
How's the Master System version regarded?
Master System version is closer to the arcade.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's the thing. The version of 1 on the NES is...
Oops.
It's pretty different. The first level is the same, maybe the second level, but after that it has certain aspects, but then it gets into some platforming and stuff like that later on.
I played through the game on arcade machine once. I mean, you know, free play at MagFest 1 year.
Yeah, it's a lot different on the NES. That's why I think that if you play a little bit further, you'd say like, oh, this is quite a bit different and more something that I'm interested in, especially since you have the if you could play it on here, you'd have the button combination, the jump, and when you have to do some key jumping,
it's
annoying to hit both buttons at the same time.
It's definitely a little weird, like the directional.
But it makes sense when you think about it.
It does make sense. It's also kind of needless, though. You know, it's like.
Well, no, you got people come up behind you all the time.
Well, that is true. That is true.
I recommend jumping and pressing punch, and you'll do this uppercut, like a super uppercut, and it'll make them. You gotta like as you hit the ground, you gotta press punch in the direction you're facing. Remember.
Well, I'm not next to any enemies. Oh. Oh, like as you land. I think I did it.
It'll make them fly up in the air.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, the Master System is slower, but it has 2-player, and I got the Master System version for free back in the day, because you could get it for if you send in your UPCs or something like that.
Whoa.
I know, he just turns into his mask.
What? That's wild.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. But there's a reason that the 4th game uses a similar graphic style to this. The 4th game is atrocious. I mean, as far as I know, just because it has insanely awful screen tearing.
Huh. But like all of these games are like 30 frames per second anyway. Is that game also 30 frames? Actually, is this
This doesn't feel like it is.
this might be 60. Oh.
Smoke Monsters in the chat. Is Classic Gaming Quarterly done streaming? For anybody in the chat has not seen and was interested in seeing the magazine read through that Chris from Classic Gaming Quarterly and myself did at Retro World Expo, it's up on his channel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, came out really good. And we're talking about doing them more often, just like as videos for the channel, for his channel. Like that's something that I have so much fun doing that kind of stuff. And it's I don't know what it is about it. I really, really enjoy it though. Smoke Master, we finished up trying not to cross streams with you, but we got carried away. Oh, you guys are playing Wheel of Fortune. It happens. Over Disco, have I played the E series? Played through the E series? Yes. I played them all except for 5. It is absolutely one of my favorite series.
And I need to play a lot more of them. I've played.
You need to play 8. You need to play 8 like this year,
Oh.
so it can be on our year-end video as your game of the year.
I don't know.
But speaking of beating
Escape
games,
is pretty tough competition.
Yeah, I'm feeling like Ninja Warriors is gonna be my favorite game for the year. I mean, granted I've not played as many games as I would have liked to this year, but I finally did finish a game. I finished Quantum Break the other night. I got into the groove. You know, the episode format of that is a good way to say I'm gonna play one episode a night.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did with Dawn of Mana, because it very much feels like an episodic game.
Yeah. But Quantum Break, I was not into it until about halfway through the 4th chapter. And I guess it's pretty good. It doesn't really have a satisfying conclusion, but it's very obvious that there was something there that they had DLC planned for it or expansion of some sort that never came out.
Mm. I kind of haven't done it, because I've kind of been getting really into the. Oh wow, this is cool.
Yeah, don't let that door open. It'll sucks you out.
Oh! What made
Oh,
it open?
right.
Just getting too close?
It just opens randomly.
That does seem pretty
Oh,
good.
don't
Oh
get too
no,
close. Let me just
huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was oops. I was getting into the 2D version of Dragon Quest 11, but I had like plans to. I've got like 42 Bs in ukulele, so I had
Do what
plans to
one night,
like
right?
do one run of the Impossible Layer a night. I've gotten to like 50% through it. Like when I went to sit down to turn on my Switch, I'm like, yeah, I just want to play Dragon Quest now. It's like so crazy that I'm like doing that now, because like I beat the PS4 version this year, but like I don't know, I just like
Yeah,
really want to play it.
Joshua Helmick, yes. I mean, Quantum Break. I just don't think that's very good especially in the middle. But the last round, like halfway through chapter 4, when the actual time travel aspect of it came into play, I thought that was cool. It was very sad, also.
I mean, I really liked the first like hour of the game that I played.
But it's there's not a whole lot going on. Like, for a lot of the game, but then it gets once you actually do some time travel, like, it's pretty good. We got a $5 donation from Craig Wan. Thank you.
Oh wow.
Said my favorite in the series is Double Dragon Advance, and still is. I wish the fourth game used similar style gameplay and graphics. What are your thoughts? Double Dragon Advance is awesome.
I don't know anything about it.
It is like it's a remake of the first game, but it's done in it's like a whole like level system, and it has like RPG elements to it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it is a complete remake. First and Frame Rate says, "Hey guys, your Games Within Games episode was great. I'm glad the response to it has been pretty positive. It was a like an idea that I had put on the back burner since last year when I found out about the Quake 2 port was the reason it made me think of doing the video in the first place. And it is fun. There's a lot of stuff. What's really funny is that there is a lot of, oh, you forgot this, you should have had this in there. And the thing is most of those games were in it, but I removed multiple segments because it was getting to be so long. I mean, it would have been over an hour if I kept all those things.
Like, it's like, you forgot this, you forgot that. I'm disappointed this wasn't it. It's like, it's over 40 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the script was like 17 pages or something. So we even recorded voiceover for them, and I had them in the episode.
Yeah, like Dracula X
and
Chronicles was one.
Dracula X
64 may have been one that was already recorded.
Pac-Man 2. Excitebike 64 was in there. Pac-Man 2. I mean, you didn't record it, but I mean, Prince of Persia was on there, but then you couldn't get your save to work.
I don't understand what was going on. Like, I have definitely played original Prince of Persia on my GameCube, and I've got 2 saves at the final boss, and but it was grayed out on my menu, and I just don't know why.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could. If we had more time, the episode was extremely late as it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was a lot that people said, "Oh, you left this out," and I want to say, we had this in here we we removed it because the episode was so long. I should look at my script. What else came out of it?
Yeah, but like I don't know why I couldn't do that. But like the Xbox version is the one that's most interesting anyway, and I couldn't. I just didn't have time to like make a save to unlock those on Xbox. I'd be curious to see how they look on Xbox One X though, for sure.
Yeah, so there's Pac-Man 2. There's Sonic, the original Sonic and Sonic Generations, which is relevant because it's in. You can play it on the Xbox One X. It's backwards compatible and it's in 4K. There's Outrun 2, and Outrun was in there and recorded, removed. But yeah, I mean, we have more than enough to do a separate. And Splatterhouse was in there, but I couldn't beat the game in time because you got to play through the entire game. And the thing is I have the Xbox 360 version, so it's not like I can just download a save because you got to like, it has to be like digitally signed or whatever to your console. And that's why one person said when I said I don't have a save file for Ninja Gaiden Black, and the thing is I can't download one. Excuse me, you can't download one either because the Team Ninja games on the Xbox encrypts your file to like only work on your system. So I was able to find a way to re-sign the original game, but I couldn't find anything to re-sign the Black version.
This is a weird game.
It seems kind of fun. They're just chasing you through it. That's fun.
Well, it's like a sporting event, but we're just like running through the town.
I think that's great. Corpse 413 says you need to just go the GameSec route and not be afraid of doing multiple volumes. Yeah, I mean that's the intent. Honestly, I mean I have no problem doing that. It's just that I always feel like there's something that other people would rather see first. When we're releasing more episodes more consistently, which will hopefully be like early in the year, I think you'll see second volumes of certain things. Like I have a whole list of useful ROM hacks to do a whole nother one of those, and I really want to. I'm going to try to do it this year as the like a first party controllers episode. So we'll see. Nelson Painkiller says this must be a laugh to play 4 players. I bet it is. I bet it's super. I mean, it seems pretty fun. It seems like something you would have seen on TV.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
I don't know what the Star Wands are about.
But yeah, I mean, we will definitely do a follow-up to that just because there's so many examples and it's going over pretty well. It's like the second fastest performing video in its first 2 days and 6 hours. I mean, it seems pretty cool. I think it'd be fun.
Oh, is this just going to be the same challenge again? I'm sure there's several other challenges. I think this game might have a. I think Crashing the Boys might be the English version of this game, but I'm not sure. We'll see when I get to it. All right, Double Dragon 3. So what's this one considered?
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
No.
None of the Double Dragon games are expensive.
No, I don't think so.
I kind of like that gradient 3. The sacred stones written this like ye old text.
Yeah, I think in the arcade it's called the Rosetta Stone.
Is the
This
arcade
is- this
version
is-
considered good?
I don't think either one of them are well liked.
A new danger has reared its ugly head.
Yeah, Good Vibe Collecting says it's not bad in my opinion, just hard, and it's supposedly really really difficult. So I think that I've
So this is back to punching and kicking the direction you're facing.
yeah. Put a few frames of animation there.
Whoa! That was kind of awesome.
ABO Hiccups was saying, what is your thoughts about McJugger Nuggets leaving YouTube in 2020? Do you think YouTube will finally have a viable competitor? I don't even, who is that? I don't know. Is he I assume that he's a big deal. If it's a big deal that he's leaving.
I mean, I don't know.
sorry.
It's hard to
So
really
what is-
imagine. Like, I mean, I can see Amazon Prime. Like, I mean, I know some people have left to do that.
Well-
Like, I don't know how they're doing there, but
He's saying something about something called Storyfire. I hear someone in our comments said
yeah,
mentioned. Oh, you
I
should
don't
check
know
out
anything
Storyfire.
about it though.
I mean, I'll look it up. Is it online now? Is it like an actual thing that's running now, or is it like a competitor?
I mean,
There's been plenty of.
I briefly looked at the website when someone made a comment, but I didn't get a lot out of it. I didn't really understand. Wow, so there's just like no continues, no lives. Like, is that what the deal is? Like, I'm all the way back at the beginning of the game already.
Can you only sign up using Google or Facebook?
Ew, forget it.
No, I mean, you can with Google, but I mean, it looks like it has no option for in-app signups. I mean, if you sign up, can you just like import all of your YouTube videos? But I mean, there's been plenty of YouTube competitors that have come and gone. Like, what was the one that we were on for like a second? Was it Duke would probably know what it was supposed to be.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, there was the VidMe went away, and then what was the? Do you remember what it was called? We were supposed to be on it years ago.
I don't remember.
No, not Vimeo, not Blip TV.
So
Yeah,
I
the
don't know
little
much
plant
about
with
this
his
game, but
icon.
I think this one is supposed. I'm hoping it's similar to River City Ransom, but it's like ye old Japan.
Oh, what was it called? Hey, Bit Duke, I don't know if you're still in the chat. But
Oh,
you
was he
remember
in
what it
the
was
chat?
called? Yeah. Let's start with a V. It wasn't VidMe, but it was before that.
I'd probably remember
When we
it.
were like contributing videos to Rerez, like what we were supposed to be on.
Right.
Vessel, that's it. Will Santos
Oh
got it.
yeah. Is that
Yes.
long gone?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, some people were like pretty seriously thinking that was going to be a big thing. I forget
Yeah,
why.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
so you have a partner with you even if you're single player.
but I wonder if you have to sign up with Storyfire if you have to use Google or what.
I've got this cart.
Verizon killed Vessel in 2016. It's only up for a year. We just got...
Is Rio I'm buying stuff with.
Potbelly Punch is saying, what do you guys think about the Eureka 3D Street Fighter games, like Street Fighter EX? I've only played the PS1 version. I do have EX3 though, but I've only played like Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. I thought it was cool. I mean, I thought that was fun, and a lot of those Capcom 3D but 2D style playing games. Like I really like the. I like the both.
Oh, look at
Rival
that! Look at
Schools.
this
I
fake
played
parallax action.
The second one a bit more. I have it on the Dreamcast.
It's cool to see the numbers flying. The 3DS games do that too. I've only played through the first one though, or I say the first one. I don't actually know how many 3DS games there are, but Tokyo Rumble and then Rival Showdown I have not played yet. I intended to play that 1 week when I was at my parents' house because I brought my 3DS and some games, but I accidentally grabbed Tokyo Rumble instead of Rival Showdown, so I played something else.
It's Project Justice. I was lucky and I got that one when it came out, because there was a point in time when as the we were ramping up to the PS2 launch and the Dreamcast was having a harder time. Capcom was releasing all kinds of games and they were like $20 each, brand new, like out of the gates. I'm pretty sure
on
that
the Dreamcast.
Yeah,
Like
Mars
what,
Matrix,
like
$20.
Cannon,
Like a lot of
it Cannon Strike or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Cannon Spike, I believe, was $20.
That game's expensive now.
Project Justice, I'm pretty sure, was $20. And I bought like so many of them, and I sold a lot of them when I moved to New York, and it's too bad because I had a lot of the expensive ones, but I managed to keep some of the more expensive ones, just the ones that I really liked, which is, I guess, is a good way to think about it. And Project Justice was one, and so was Mars Matrix. And both are pretty expensive, I think, these days. What is the subtitle of Plasma Sword? It's like Plasma Sword, and it's like this, like the shadow of something. It's like a really funny name, but it might only be funny to me. There it is, the nightmare of Bilstein. That's it.
You know, I saw
I thought it was funny at the time.
I saw a copy of Prism at a store the other day.
Oh yeah, you thought about it? I guess
I
I
didn't
should
think
probably play
about
that.
it really.
You know, honestly, like playing that game next week would probably be most appropriate Halloween stream that we could do.
Sure.
Because it's probably scary bad, but who knows?
Man, this guy has a lot of HP. Or I was probably supposed to power up a bit before fighting this guy. I would love to play through this game. Like, I love the idea of a Japan throwback. He's stacked on top of my rock.
He's just
Wait,
riding it.
did we beat him? No. Oh, we got him.
That's right, the guy from Plasma Sword. I forgot his name. It starts with an H. The guy from Plasma Sword is like the main guy. He never appeared in another Hayate. That's it. Sorry, like I'm so good with certain names, but then I can't remember the. As you can see, my Plasma Sword memories are hazy, but I have the right idea. Like, it's clear that I played it, but I just don't remember the names of the characters. What bad launch game did you play way too much?
For any system?
There's a lot of people that say that my love for Altered Beast is misplaced, and that's a bad launch game. But I thought Altered Beast, I have a big soft spot for Altered Beast.
Bad launch games.
Or as I like to say, Altered Beasto.
Yeah. Bad launch games. Bad launch games. I don't know. Mario 64 DS ain't great.
I mean, I could say like launch window game. Maybe I'd have to look. You know, I was just playing a bit of Rogue Squadron 2 for this video. And man, what an awesome game. Rogue Squadron 2 is amazing.
Yeah, it's very,
It's
just technically like kind of like how they do that at launch, you know?
Yes, I mean it is a great looking game even now. Well, the three of the problem is the on foot part are just so bad.
Yeah. You know, a couple of people pointed out, you know, I only have the vaguest memory of this being a thing, but I guess the entirety of the Rogue Leader campaign is in Rebel Strike as co-op missions.
Oh yeah,
Which I guess I forgot.
yeah, I did too.
That is a legit you forgot. That would have been worth a mention at least.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron was a launch title. I mean, it's super impressive, and they made it really quick too.
Yeah, I think I heard it was a pretty short development.
And the GameCube, just for the GameCube launch, like having that and Super Monkey Ball, it's a great couple of games to get.
Super Monkey Ball was day one, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I did not get it day one, but a friend of mine did, and then I got it for Christmas. The way that areas are connected in this game is a little strange.
I hate that you go to the next screen and you expect to continue that way.
Yeah, I don't really understand like how things are. It almost seems random. I don't understand how it's laid out at all, but it's very cool. Like I would definitely love to. That's funny. I definitely love to play more of it, but I don't. Obviously, I don't quite understand what I'm doing because I can't read it. Let's see.
Soul Calibur was a launch game in the U.S., but I mean, the Dreamcast was out for almost a year at that point in Japan. ABO Hiccups, what do we think about the HD Retrovision Dreamcast component cable? Here's a fun fact. All like the 480p Dreamcast stuff in the new episode was recorded with a version of that cable. I've been testing around and using it, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's like it's the last piece for the RGB episode.
Right, but since it's not a video quality episode, I wouldn't like take that as like valid comparison material or anything. It's no. I mean, it wasn't even a like production sample, right?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's got a 3D printed enclosure for the Switch for the 480p and standard def.
So it's
Switch, but that's
well, then it's not quite a production sample.
Okay, yeah, then it is not. It's not fully, but it has a little light in there that turns on when your system's getting a correct signal and all this other stuff. But yeah, I mean, just like in the Shenmue segment, when it's not specifically when it's showing 480p stuff that's obviously not DC HDMI. Best launch title Sonic 1? It was not a launch title. Are you talking about Sonic Adventure 1?
I mean, Mario 64 is the obvious answer for best launch title in history, if you ask me.
Well, there you go. There's the answer. Yes, it will support 40i and 240p for consumer CRTs. If there's one thing to know about anything you buy from HD Retrovision, you'll know that it's completely designed to be 100% according to spec and right on the money. Because Steve is a very like by the book guy.
Yeah.
He always does his homework and makes sure that it's completely on spec to what it has to be, and it checks all the boxes, and he'll go through all the proper channels to make sure that it is compliant.
Yeah.
And that's why you won't see, I mean, as of right now, you won't see him doing like anything HDMI, because people can make HDMI stuff, but Steve would want to have it officially licensed as HDMI, and
that's like freaking expensive.
It's like $5,000 a year or something like that.
Well, yeah, and then if you want like HDCP, like I think together they're like $20,000.
Yeah.
This definitely seems more fun than the soccer game.
Dumb question is, does the PlayStation HD Retrovision cables pass through YPBPR with the PS, like
Does PlayStation?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like they're just there's no circuitry. Is that what your question is?
Yeah, you can use them on all three.
Like there's no circuitry.
I
They
mean,
just pass
you
the
can't
native YPBPR that's outputting from the
right.
system.
You can't use them on a PS1. You can if you have the adapter for their Genesis cables.
Yeah.
Right.
But then if
Sorry,
you were
my
to
mistake.
use those same, if you were to use like the adapter with, for the Genesis cables on a PS2 or PS3, I could be wrong on this, but I think you might not be able to do 480p.
With what?
If you use the Genesis cable adapted to to PlayStation, like if you were to use that on a PS,
Yeah, so you can't do 40p. I don't know. That's probably the case though.
I'm not sure if that works or not.
I mean, I've had no problem with the DC HDMI mod. I know that in testing and getting everything right on with the component cables, that Steve was able to help them solve some issues that they could be resolved at the firmware level or the firmware level with the DC HDMI. Like he discovered certain incompatibilities because he wanted to make sure 100% that the two cables can be used in conjunction. And I was doing this. The way I was able to do some of those comparisons, which were pretty cool, because I just sent both outputs from the same system to different capture cards. So they matched up exactly. Got a $5 donation from our old friend Ben Brody.
Oh.
It says $18 million. But every time you hear a car honking, you have to eat a large Domino's 2 toppings pizza within 15 minutes. You die pretty quick, I feel like. I couldn't even eat a whole large Domino's within 15 minutes. So, and if you can't
what happens if people were just like honking like crazy, like on your way to get your Domino's pizza? Like,
I don't know.
Does it stack up? Like, it might become impossible depending on the situation you find yourself in.
Are they made fresh and just waiting in the wings at all time?
I mean, it'd be easier to do with like Little Caesars, because like you can just get like, I mean, it'd only be a one topping, but like Little Caesars just has like the pizzas ready.
I'll be right back. You go ahead and go. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a tricky deal for sure. I would enjoy eating a large 2-topping Domino's pizza, you know, under less stringent circumstances, perhaps. Got some a lot of classical music in here. Is that Mr. Moneybags? This is a pretty nice background for an NES game. $2 for Bibro. Okay, fine. 3 hot dogs instead of a pizza. Oof. I mean, I feel like 1 hot dog per car honk might be the limit. I mean, I off the top of my head, I feel like, well, your average day out, you know, on the road, you know, you probably don't hear a car honk, but sometimes you do. I get very whenever I do honk my horn, like I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know if it makes me feel anxious or it's like almost guilty. Like I'm just like I'm filled. Like, you know, sometimes you just honk because it's like, you know what? You right there, you done bad, and you need to be told you done bad. You oughtn't to have done what you done, so I'm gonna honk at you. But I'm filled with bad vibes. Like, it's using the horn fills me with I feel guilty. I feel dirty somehow. I don't know. I don't like honking. Well, I gotta go with Team Kunio.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, we're walking around. Oh, hey!
$2 donation. Did you see the donation? Okay, fine. 3
Yeah,
hot dogs.
yeah. I did. I talked about it a little bit. I feel like one hot dog, maybe not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, but it really depends. Like if someone's like panic alarm goes off in a parking lot, like, are you just like racking those up until it like shuts off?
I see it. I don't know. Sheepy 007 saying a little correction in your Mega SD video. There's indeed an official Sega licensed Mega Drive card called Flux that you could use and interact with audio from the Sega CD Pure Solar. Was not the first. Is that the thing that it was like only like a Brazilian release or something like that? Or it was not? It's like from like Virgin Interactive or Europe. Yeah, it's like like Virgin Interactive or something like that. Okay. That's definitely it's someone had mentioned that I think in the comments, but I always assumed that Pure Solar was. I mean that's the thing, you know, like when it comes to try to fact check and get everything as right as we can, but there's always certain things that you think you know and you don't need to, and it's like that's always the stuff that like bites you in the butt. Whoa, hang on a second. There's like a bug here. Not a good looking bug either.
A what? A bug?
Hang on.
Your webcam went black.
It's just me.
Oh.
There's like a bug crawling on my wall. I don't know where it came from.
Outside.
What?
Outside.
Well, yeah. But...
To-do group.
What's that?
There's signs for the to-do group.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that's like an actual company name.
Just catching up on stuff here. We heard the rumors of the PS5 backwards compatibility for PS1, 2, and 1 through 3. Do you feel is feasible for Sony? I haven't heard the rumors.
Yeah,
I mean, is 4 like a definite? I mean, like 1 is like it should definitely happen. I mean, 1 should have been there with
it absolutely
the
should
PS4.
have
There's
been
no reason for that at all.
I don't know if I quite believe it. I mean, PS3 would be interesting. I don't know how feasible emulation is for it because of its weird architecture. It would be interesting if it was if it was like you would get like a max settings PC version of like the multiple platform games with like PlayStation buttons swapped in.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, I think it's gonna have to be something like the like on like the Xbox One, where it's not even like really emulation. It's just like kind of a rebuild of these games, isn't it? It's like its own package. Like
what's
a kind
a
of
rebuild?
a rebuild.
What?
Or like on the Xbox One. I mean, they're not. It's not like straight up like emulation.
I think it is.
Oh, for some reason, I always assumed that it was just kind of like a.
I mean,
it is emulation. That's I see.
It's emulation, but you're downloading like the thing. But it's it's like there is I believe there is like some GPU stuff in the Xbox One that like is not fully emulation.
Someone's like laying on the horn outside.
Uh-oh. Well, better get ready to book it to Domino's.
I didn't even think about it. Got those hot dogs ready.
So this is the same game as the one that I just played. I thought it might be the that other like marathon game that was kind of more fun where we were just like running through the city.
You hear the honking?
No. So you could get away with it. We wouldn't know that you had to go get a Domino's pizza.
KCW has had a joke about hot dogs. What the Buddhist monks say to the hot dog vendor, "Make me one with everything." Jeez, I don't know why they're honking so much. It's Ben honking. Ben Broder's just gonna follow us around, honking his horn. Time to eat. Can they be maybe Coney sliders, or not sliders, like the Coney dogs,
that'd be even more food though.
I know.
I feel like you would just like want a really plain hot dog if like you had to do that all the time,
You pick the dogs.
Man, I haven't had just like a hot dog in a long time.
Well, you can get one when you're here in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Get one of them chili dogs.
Yeah. So if we want to go anywhere when you're here, we could always grab some scooters as well.
What?
There's the electric scooters are a big thing here recently.
Okay.
Like the bird scooters. Are you familiar with these at all?
No.
They're electric scooters, and you have an app on your phone, and people take them and they park them wherever they want, and you can activate them and take them all around town.
Well, but do you have to pick it up, or does it come to you somehow?
It doesn't come to you if you just see one on the street.
Oh, you're just like, oh, I'm going to take it.
Yeah. It's great. I mean,
sounds kind of dangerous.
Well, I mean, they go. I mean, they actually go pretty fast. But
like you ride on the road or the sidewalk.
You should ride them on the road. Yeah, you pick them up wherever people drop them off.
Like, what kind of license do you have to drive it?
You don't have to.
Really? That sounds kind of terrifying.
You just have to have an app and be able to pay. It's like not that expensive. It's like 30 cents minute or something like that. I mean, but they're all over the place. Yeah, Shanquinson, they're everywhere, and they're it's like a Razor scooter, but it's electric. It's fun. I mean, last night we went out to dinner with the kids, and then my kids like stand on the front and they hold on to like the right in front of us, and they think it's just so much fun to drive around on them.
It sounds horrifying to me.
Yeah. Well, I bet you'd think it's pretty cool.
I don't know. I'd have to see. Wait, where am I?
Yeah, it's the ones that we have are that we have bird and lime. Yeah, I'll make sure that when he's here in a couple of weeks, he at least tries it, just so we can take a photo.
Oh man, I turned into a plate of eggs and bacon, or like ramen or something.
But yeah, I think they're really nice to have, especially since our old car died, so we're currently a one-car family, and if I need to go anywhere,
You don't have to wear like a helmet or nothing?
no. People don't even have to wear helmets on motorcycles here,
Oh.
which is stupid. It's stupid, but I mean,
how fast did they go?
I don't know, probably like 15 miles an hour.
Oh, so pretty darn slow.
Well, when you're going that on a thing, I mean, maybe it's like 25, but it's like it's not fast, but it's not slow either. I mean, people are probably better judge of, 15 miles an hour feels fast. Like when you're outside and you're like riding on this little thing, it might sound like it's going slow, but it's going pretty fast. You couldn't run and keep up with them. It's like a golf cart. Yeah, that'd be appropriate. Yeah, people even they double up on the scooters. You know, like I said, I ride with my kids on it. Just one kid per scooter, obviously. But it's great. I mean, like we rode down and rode across the bridge into the city and came back last night. They have headlights on them, so you can ride them at night. Yeah, you couldn't run alongside it. You cannot. Yeah, you couldn't keep up with them.
I don't know. It sounds kind of scary to me.
Oh, I think you'd think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, there's a specific they were doing a little test thing here recently where they had marked off parts of the street where you could just for them. But I think it was just kind of showing us like how it could work. They decided to do it.
Why is Kunio not helping me?
But when I went to the movie last week, I rode one home. You know, I can ride from down at the levee down there and back to my house in less than 5 minutes. It's like a 15-minute walk, probably.
There's another soccer one.
Yep, vans and Smoke Monster says vans and trucks drive around at 2 a.m. here to pick them up every night. Yeah, they just bring them all back to the place. I wouldn't want to have that job.
Whoa, there's wind blowing.
Yeah, it is a living. There's a lot of jobs that I don't want. It's true. Oh, the rental bikes. Those are cool too. I just haven't used them. I wonder if the scooters are really causing a hit to those. But you're not a big bike rider either, right?
No. I had some pretty bad experiences riding bikes.
So much so it's out of the question, like ever doing it again.
I really can't see myself doing it.
Do you think you could ride a bike? You got on one?
Maybe a little, but I'd probably chicken out pretty quick.
Is it a story that you want to share?
I mean the main bulk of the story is like I was in Boy Scouts for, you know, how do I okay. For a little while, like to me, it was not as fun as Cub Scouts. I don't know how to even start a game.
I quit Boy Scouts as soon as I became a Boy Scout.
Yeah, it wasn't really interesting to me. Like everything was like all the meetings were just like planning for.
It's all like serious. It's like you got to really care about camping.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything was just like planning for camping trips that I didn't have a lot of interest in. And like, you know, the one that I went on was a bike hike, they called it. And I was like, fine. I'll go on one just to, you know, actually do anything with scouts. I didn't really get along with any of the kids. Whoa, they got like double nuts. Like I just didn't really get along with any of the kids, and like on the actual bike hike, like, you know, however many miles it was, I don't even think it was like that crazy.
So you've been riding bikes pretty consistently at that point?
Sure, I rode them around, you know, my neighborhood, you know, would like ride like my friend's house or something, but nothing like really serious. And I fell off my bike at some point on you know, on it, you know, on like, I want to say it was like sort of a rocky, you know, sort of gravelly, sort of skinned up my knee a little bit, but that wasn't the worst thing. Like the worst thing was like I just like I could not after I got back, like I was just like so exhausted, and I just like laid down in my dad's tent and like passed out for a bit. And then when it was time for dinner, like I like literally couldn't move my legs. Like I just like could not get up. And then like my crotch hurt for a month. Like it was just like I just like had absolutely no fun. And I have maybe been on a bike for like 10 seconds since then.
Oh wow.
Like I just like lost interest in bikes and Boy Scouts from that point. Like I immediately quit. Like I mean, I guess there's not like much to the story necessarily, but that was my story of losing interest in that.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just from your legs hurt from just right.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't used to like riding a bike that much, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I I don't know. Like, you know, I've never exactly been an athletic kid. You know, I played baseball in third grade, and
when I was in third grade
yeah.
also. I hated it because I know I got I got I got I got hit with pitches every single time.
Well,
It's
I
that's
I
why I hated
got
it.
I got a
It was
black eye.
scary after a while.
I got a black
What's that?
eye from a
Oh,
pitch.
really?
Yeah.
That never happened to me. I just
Oh yeah, I got a black eye, and you know, and then then I quit. I mean, I was definitely interested in baseball, like when I lived in Ohio, because like mostly because of like proximity. Like, you know, we were close to a baseball team, like we hadn't been when we lived in
yeah.
Tennessee before then. And you know, so like, oh, you know, the Cincinnati Reds, and it was fun to go to Reds games, and I like, you know, I was into like collecting baseball cards and you know, little baseball team helmets and things like that. I was into that,
Mhm.
and you know, I played for a while. I never in a game. I never, um, I never hit a ball in a game. In practice, I did, but I never hit a ball in a game. I made it to base several times, having been walked, but I
Mhm.
never hit the ball.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Um,
I was kind of hoping the whole time I was hoping it'd be something similar to what happened to my brother. As he didn't hit the ball the entire year. Like he played for 1 year and he didn't hit the ball. He only hit the ball one time and it was a home run.
really,
Yeah.
I mean that's a worthwhile story, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I got hit like I don't remember which eye it was, but like I mean just right on, you know, the cheekbone with a pitch.
Yeah.
You know, right on my eye basically. And yeah, so that was it. I was done with that.
I mean,
And
when I was in high school, I was kind of a big guy, so that people were always trying to get me to play football.
yeah,
And I had friends who played football, and like I didn't want to play because it felt like every time they talked about it, they just talked about how much they hated it. But they just kept on going, and they played again the next year and the next year after that, and the entire time I was like, man, I just hate it so much. Like I can't do anything. Like I have to go directly after school, and I do all this stuff, and
oh
I like
yeah, like
feel like I want to die by the time I get home. They just keep on playing.
after school activities were just like always like totally off the table for me. Like I was just like I cannot I could not like imagine like giving up like my free time like that. Like to do things after school, at school? No. No. Like I know. I that was I refused. Like baseball wasn't through school. I don't know what kind of program it was necessarily. Like my coach was, you know, one of my friends in my class. Like his dad was the coach.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't through school. But yeah, I never had a knack for athletics whatsoever. So you
I mean,
know,
I played basketball with my friends a lot. I had like kind of a when I was younger, our garage collapsed in one winter. Like the roof caved in, and we removed the entire garage from that and built a different one. But there was still this big cement slab in the middle of the lawn. So we actually put a basketball hoop up there and played basketball there a whole bunch. And I was never very good. And like I said, I was like a big guy, so I wasn't. I had fun playing it like with my friends, but I was never very good. But then like one year, I decided I was going to try out for the basketball team. I must have been in like 10th grade or something like that, and it was like ninth or 10th grade. I tried out for it, and if there is like I'm not sure if this is like even a thing now in schools, but like as if you're like a big like overweight, the worst thing, one of the worst things that can happen, like at least it was for me, was to be like you playing, you're in gym class and you get put on the skins team. Oh my god.
What is that?
That's when like there's two teams, there's shirts and skins.
Oh,
Like
so you just don't wear a
yeah,
shirt?
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
horrible.
yeah. It was horrible. Like for
See, sports is
for
mean.
kids. Yeah.
I just have I just have like no competitive spirit basically at all.
Yeah.
And so sports just naturally just did not appeal to me. But I mean, even something non-competitive, I feel like I've probably told this story before. But I took, oh, it was probably what, second grade, probably second grade, I want to say, second or third grade. I was taking swim lessons. I could swim. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't impressive at it or nothing, but I could do it. I could swim.
Mm-hmm.
And this was at the Y, and I the swim class I was in was it was Polywog 1 was the swim class, and I passed Polywog 1, and then on the first day of Polywog 2, the coach is like, yeah, no, you go over there and go back to Polywog 1. And of course, I was with all these, because when you're that age, there's a big difference between ages. So I was older than all these kids that were in Polywog 1. And I was just very unhappy about this. And that was the last swim lesson we ever went to. He just said you weren't good enough to be in the class that you graduated to. Well, boy, that's sure a way to encourage a kid. So
Yeah.
I quit that. I mean, just I could swim. It's not like I was incapable of swimming. I could swim from one end of the pool to the other.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
just
know. I like
just
does that like ruin swimming then for you?
it was the start of it, I would say, for
We
sure.
got like we've got like stacked
We've
Ben
got
Brody did
stacked Ben Brodies.
his
200.
first one was 250 million, but you have to use the money to buy every copy of Space Harrier and destroy it. If it's a digital copy, you have to destroy the console.
I feel that's literally impossible.
Yeah.
It's you would never track down every copy. Especially
I
ones
wonder
that
how
are
much of that.
privately owned. It would be elite. I feel like you would lose all that money having to make a deal with the people who have a copy of it, to convince them to part with it. You would become you know Frank Cifaldi's Public Enemy #1. I don't think it'd be worth it.
I think you should read this next one.
Okay,
Next donation.
5 billion. But you have to use the money to develop a real life rolling grump lump, and that is the only mode of transportation you are allowed to use. I mean, I have a feeling that.
What if you can't develop it?
I mean, could the rolling grump lump be your tires? Can you have a car on top of the rolling grump lumps?
I don't know.
I mean, 5 billion is a lot of money. You would probably have to use 4/5 of that to actually get the funding to develop a
You have to jump when they roll. just like Mario.
To actually develop a working rolling grump lump.
Is that what they call? Are they? Is it actually grump lumps? So I always
Is
thought
it grump?
grum. I thought it was grum blump.
Grum blump?
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was supposed to be.
I think it might be Grumblump. I can't remember, but like, yeah, I feel like it would just be something that would not pass like legal. The the DMV. I don't think would allow it.
Yeah.
It'd be. I feel like it's a lost cause. That's the problem. You know.
Um. The analog DAC will only work with analog consoles as of right now.
Right.
Although theoretically they could maybe open it up so that they put the information out there so other people could use it perhaps in the future.
I mean, it would.
But I'm not sure if they'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, it definitely could theoretically be possible to like, PS1 games on PS3, for example, or an emulated game on any given system, but the way those are scaled and output, might vary, but it would theoretically be possible, like, oh, we're just going to sample a line and make that 4x. I think it could theoretically work for sure, but it's just not designed to work that way.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if like anyone figures out how to like hijack the firmware and like repurpose it for some other purpose. We were talking about the card adapters for Mega SG. We really hope so because I feel like they need to fulfill that promise to keep people confident in card adapters for the Pocket. Yeah, the extra FPGA on the Analog Pocket is that's definitely a pretty big deal. I wonder how you access it and how you install cores for it. Like, is it like, do you just put them on an SD card? Like, maybe you don't update the firmware for that core, you update the overall firmware, and then you just like put the alternate cores on an SD card or something. Maybe.
I don't know. Try likes barbecue and Court likes Dixie chili for some unknown reason.
I mean, I like Dixie chili too, but I don't necessarily believe it's like superior to the others. But I'll be sure to eat some Gold Star chili
or Dixie chili
or Skyline chili on my way home from Cincinnati in a few weeks. But that by all means, I want to go Dixie chili as well. I mean, I gotta get my Cincinnati Eatons while I'm up there because I mean I haven't been there.
As my son calls it. My son calls it Dixily chili.
Dixily.
Dixily chili.
I mean, I haven't been there in a while. It's been a while, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably been like almost 2 years, I bet, since I've been up.
Yeah, since you've been out here. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Well, like a year and a half. I guess it was probably like last April. I guess it would have been.
Yeah. So yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah. At some point, I had Gold Star chili in the Cincinnati airport when we were flying back from somewhere, and I then caught my flight to Charlotte.
Let's see, Video Game Obsession is saying I bought my final needed a large grid Genesis game, Dynamite Duke, for $40.
Ooh. Oh, is it that expensive? Because I kind of want it.
I guess so.
I didn't think it was that expensive.
I just got a couple off of eBay. I got Fantasia, and I got David Robinson's Supreme Court because it was $6 shipped. Let me see where I'm at. I don't think I've gotten anything else. I'm kind of eyeing this $21 Home Alone.
Corey is always in Cincinnati.
Yeah, always.
Always. He never leaves.
So I need. So what I have left, it's not that many. It's like, so I have 10 left. I have Chicky Boys, Alicia Dragoon, Toki, Alien Storm, Biohazard Battle, Jewel Master, Home Alone, Cyborg Justice, 688 Attack Sub, and Super Monaco GP2. Those are the only ones that I have left. They're like Chicky and Alicia are and I guess Toki and Alien Storm are the ones that are left. Yes, I am going for all black grids. Oh, jeez, where's whatever it is? Hold on. I don't know if I just killed it or not. I better just kill that shit.
Was it that same kind of bug?
Yeah, and it like exploded all over the place. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Jersey Mike's, I think, is like everywhere. There's a bunch of Jersey Mike's around me in North Carolina.
Hold on, it's like definitely. Ugh.
What is
I don't know
it?
what kind of bug it is. Let me just clean this up. I need my flashlight to be able to see it.
Like, did you kill the first one? Or did you miss it and this is the same one?
Is that same one?
Oh, you didn't
I missed
get
him
it
earlier, and he was coming down.
It's just a weird looking bug, huh?
Way down from the wall up here.
And it exploded. Well, is that about going to wrap it up? I was intending to like finish off the stream like playing River City Ransom since like everyone knows that, but like it was already 11 by the time I got through the list of games, so I guess I decided not get going too much on that. But like River City Ransom is just like such a fascinating game to me because like it just feels so far ahead of its time. It's like this open world that you can like just go all over the place. You just like fight enemies, get money, and then you buy food, and it like increases your stats permanently and stuff like that. And it's just fascinating to me because like it just feels so far ahead of its time. It almost feels like an offline MMO in a way to me, like where you're just like building this character. Then you like your character itself like gets a password, and you could like, you know, you and a friend could like build up your characters separately and then like bring them together in one game to like finish it off or something like that. Oh, Retro Morgan says his River City Girls arrives on Wednesday. I haven't tracked mine, but I did get a notification saying it was preparing for shipment. I hope I get mine next week as well because I am looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, I should see. I should
That,
see where it's
like
at.
Like you know the excitement over that game was like definitely one of the reasons I got the Kunio collection because it just kind of like brought it back to my forefront. But yeah, it's a really impressive collection. I think like the presentation is like I almost feel like I was like a consultant on the game because like everything is like almost exactly how I would want it to be. Like the scaling and all that. I didn't show off any of the audio like reverb stuff, but you can push it like way too far to where it just sounds like super distorted. But I could see the reverb being kind of fun to play with. But yeah, it's really well done. Like it's like definitely the blueprint for how you know 256 pixel wide games should be presented, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I recommend it if you're interested in Kunio games, except for the fact that most of them are in Japanese. But they're just kind of fun to like. It's fun to look at the Famicom history of Kunio uh, and sort of get it just all in one place. I definitely could see myself grabbing the that Japanese game at some point, just because it's really interesting. Like, oh, they're all Japanese. The more the ancient Japan, the old Japan. That one seemed fun. All right, well, is that going?
I think that's gonna do it.
I'll do it.
That's gonna do it.
All right, well,
That was
thanks
fun.
thanks everyone for watching and donating and watching the new episode, and
Yeah, it did. Like I said, it's done a lot better than I thought it was gonna do.
yeah,
I'm very
I'm
happy with it.
pleased.
Yep.
All
All right,
right.
everybody. We'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.